What is going on, YouTube? It has been an extremely long time since I posted a video. Other than the year 2020 being the year 2020, turns out it is one thing to barbecue while chasing a toddler around at home, and another thing in its entirety to make a YouTube cooking show while also chasing a toddler around at home. So, my daughter's a little bit older now, and I think it'll be easier, and I fully intend on ramping this channel back up. And I'm probably going to delete my previous videos and redo them anyway because I've got a little bit better equipment now, better microphone, and I only posted, I think, 3 videos in the past in the first place. So, that being the case, let's do some cooking today. Today, we have got one Wagyu chuck roast. If you can't find Wagyu, not a big deal. Honestly, I only picked this up because they had it at my grocery store. And I figured better quality cut of meat is never a bad thing. We are going to be making chuck roast burnt ends today. And with a chuck roast, you can just kind of pull apart at this natural separation. You can throw this on the smoker whole if you like, but to make the burnt ends, I like to cube it up first. And if you pull apart this separation, then you're going to run into less of your burnt ends being mostly fat. It doesn't really matter if you do this or not, but if you don't, there will be a couple. See, if you get one of those right there, that's going to be all fat. That's not going to be that good of a bite. So we can just go ahead and toss that. From here, I'm going to put this in to about 1-inch cubes, maybe a little bit bigger. These things are going to shrink up on the pit a little bit, so you don't want to go too small. And just go ahead and cube it all up. Look at that marbling right there. That's why I wanted to pick up the Wagyu. You're not going to see marbling like that in a chuck roast. And if you're making burnt ends, all that extra intramuscular fat is just going to end up with a much better end product. When it comes to seasoning, you can kind of do whatever you want here. If you have a favorite store-bought rub, use that. If you want to go salt and pepper, you can use that. Salt, pepper, garlic. I personally wouldn't use anything that has too much sugar in it because even though we are making burnt ends, if you have too much sugar in the rub, it'll burn up a little bit too much on the pit while it's cooking for so long. Plus, we're going to toss these in sauce at the end, and that's going to have most of the sugar that I want to get for the burnt end. And for our rub today, I'm going with just 1 part salt to 2 parts black pepper, dumping that in there, and then just going to give these guys a good toss around. So I like to cube these guys up before putting them on the pit, just so I can get bark on every side. Whoop. Keep doing that. And you can see there, that's going to have a nice bark all around. Alright, so I'm going to move these guys over to a wire rack now. And I think it's time to fire up the pit. Alright, so I got the pit rolling at 275. kept these on the wire rack. I'm just going to close this guy up and let the smoker do its thing. All right. And these bad boys have been going for a couple hours now. And I think it's about time to pull them off, toss them in some sauce, and we're going to get them right back on the pit. But they're looking pretty good. Starting to feel soft, not quite there yet. But this is definitely a good time to go ahead and pull them off. So I'm just going to move these guys over into this pan. Then I'm going to toss them with some sauce. Today I'm using the Franklin's Texas sauce because it's what I have in my fridge right now. But use whatever sauce you like. Does not matter at all. Good. And just toss those guys around real good. Get them nice and coated. It's time to throw these back on the pit. All right, and 4 hours on the dot. These boys are looking done. Feeling nice and soft, so I'm going to go ahead and pull these off and let them rest for a little bit before we dig in. So these guys have been resting on the counter for about 30 minutes now. I think they're nice and cooled down. So I've got this lovely pile of burnt ends, and just those are looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. Nice and tender, just pulls apart. And let's see how they taste. That is a pretty good burnt end. Is it anything like a brisket burnt end? No, not even close. I think using the Wagyu helps a little bit. If I wasn't able to use a Wagyu cut, I would probably have added some liquid in the form of beef tallow into the pan when I sauced them. But hey, even the Wagyu was maybe a third of the price of a brisket. So what you're getting, you get this beautiful little pile of meat candy. Still absolutely delicious. For I think I spent $20 on it. Hey, you can't beat it. So that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and let me know what you want me to cook next. Thanks. I'll see you in the next one.